All right, Jen, we've come down to have a shot at the pattern plate. Basically, the pattern plate is a stationary object. It's a whitewashed steel plate, obviously with some crosses on. So it's going to enable both of us to see where your gun shoots to point of aim. It's slightly unnerving thing to do because it's a stationary object. It's a bit unnatural, but as I say, it's a necessary evil. The routine is check your barrels are clear before we load the gun. Gun's loaded. You close the gun safely into the ground. Pop your feet in the right position for the angle of the shot. And then from there, prepare your head position. Turn your head a touch to the right and then mount the gun deliberately just above the mark. Come down onto the mark. And you want to be pointing the barrel and looking just at the base of the cross. Okay?
Yeah.
Just the east and west part of the cross.
Okay.
So you're seeing the centre of the cross where you're pointing the gun. Let's have a little practice, just the routine. So check your barrels are clear. Just run through your routine. That's good. Okay. So you're going to mount just above the cross and then drop down onto it. Have another practice. That's good. One for luck. You just remember to turn your head a little bit further. That's it, and that'll centralise the eye down the rib. Your head position is perfect now. And the stock is sitting, the stock's coming to the cheek perfectly, but it's also sitting perfectly in your shoulder pocket.
Okay, yeah.
Taking time to master that is really the key to your success. Mm-hmm. Whether you're shooting a stationary object or whether you're shooting a moving object. So let me just show you something. If you have a look where my left hand is, the grip of my left hand, at the moment your hand is quite a long way forwards up the forend. Mm-hmm. If you move further up the forend with your left hand, you're now artificially lengthening the stock. So if I put my hand further forwards, I'm artificially lengthening the stock. And you see where my head's sat here now?
Right.
All right. Whereas if I pull it back further, now it's going to enable my head to come further up the comb.
Okay.
Are you with me? Yeah. So at the moment, for me, your hand is a little bit too far forwards. Your left arm is too straight. So if you pull that left hand back, if you see this area here on the beaver tail forend, if you pop your little finger in there and then through from there, and you'll just find it's easy to mount the gun and get your head in the right position. All right, let's try it for real. With that one, you mounted above the mark and you were just coming down onto the cross and you fired. So you fired too quickly. Okay, the line looks good though, doesn't it? How did that feel? That was bullseye. All right. You see the one bottom right?
Yeah.
You can head forwards more, lock in. Off you go. Not the bottom right, the one slightly above it to the right. Yeah. You can get that one. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Great. Right, let's go and see what you've hit. Come and have a look. Okay. So you can see from the image on the pattern plate where the pellets have struck the plate. Some of them the pattern is fractionally high and fractionally left of centre.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty much perfect. What you're looking for is the height of the pattern. What you're looking for is between 60 and 70% below the mark and above. Mm-hmm. That enables you to basically see what you're shooting at. And the sideways adjustment of the pattern, the east and west adjustment, that's obviously if your eye is central over the breech. We'll go back and have a go at slightly longer range, and that'll again will give us another bearing on how well you're mounting the gun, and see where the pattern of shot is, whether it's in the right place or whether it's still fractionally high and still fractionally slightly left. Okay. Safety catch. Close the left eye. Lock in. Okay. Bottom left one again, please. Safety catch. And keep that cheek glued down on the stock, please, Jan. That's better. Well done. Okay, let's go and have a look. First shot on this one, I saw the pattern of shot go high again and slightly left. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I was seeing you do was, if you come this side, please. If you just watch my head position on the comb, you'd mount the gun and then come down and then slightly relax your head position.
Okay.
And then shoot. So if you lock in the gun and come down, you've got to keep the pressure down on the stock.
Mm-hmm.
If you mount the gun and come down and then relax the head position, the head comes up. Now you're looking up a ramp with the barrels, and that's a big reason why the shot's going high. The comb's set up fractionally high so you can see what you're shooting at, but the last shot you took, the pattern of shot was in effect here. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
It was much more central, it wasn't pulling left, and it wasn't as high. So for me, that last shot was perfect. As I say, the first one went here, high and left.
It's really easy to see on the pattern plate the small things that you do have a really big difference out there.
Absolutely,
when
yeah.
When you're at that distance,
yeah.
Like a tiny movement is actually a big difference in the position of the shot.
Absolutely. What we're going to do now is we've shot from 20 yards and then back to 40 yards. What I'd like to do is a close range shot from 15 yards and just see what the difference is. We'll pick a clean mark, probably this one, and we'll just have a shot from close range. Again, a close range shot, again, it'll show up any if there's any slight sort of imperfection with your gun mount or head positionment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But keeping your cheek glued down on that stock as you mount the gun, lock in the gun, you bring the gun down, you go dead level, but keep your cheek glued down on the stock. If you're tempted to do this as you pull the trigger to see the result, that's when the shot will go high and slightly to the left because you're right-handed.
It's really good to see it on the pattern plate because it just makes it so obvious. Definitely,
yeah. As I say, it doesn't lie. It's better than a photograph because it's a photograph. It's a sort of photographic evidence, isn't it? So you can see for your own eyes. So anyway, we'll have a crack at close range, but let's have a little practice mount. Go. Safety catch, good. It's fairly self-explanatory, isn't it? Let's try it again.
Same one.
We go top left.
Top left. Yeah.
Same routine, please. Okay, good. Let's go and see what you've hit. Can you already see how it's changed everything?
Yeah.
From one thing, more pressure with your cheek on the stock rather than a loose head position. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's changed everything, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and it's really good to see that visually yourself, because it just highlights the importance of it.
A gun mount, head position, and keeping your cheek glued down the stock even when you're taking the recoil.
Yeah.
Come and have a look. You know, you're pointing here, and that's pretty much, you're going dead center. And it's the same here on the top left one.
Yeah.
You know, so from a fitter's point of view, you know, the measurements look pretty much there or thereabouts. It's just really down to, for you, understanding and perfecting your gun mount and keeping your cheek glued down the stock as you take the shot.
Yeah.
You know, that was from 10 yards away, and it's totally changed everything through keeping your cheek glued down the stock.
What's interesting is that I wasn't aware that I was doing that until you obviously pick up on it, and then you can correct it. But
exactly, and you can see the difference. It's like black and white, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imperfection with your head position and keeping your cheek down, to perfect head position and keeping your cheek glued on the stock. So going back to having a custom built stock made for you, and all spec for measurements, it only works for you in your favour if you mount the gun correctly and keep your cheek glued on the stock, you know, through the shot. So, you know, it's an interesting exercise for you as a new shooter to actually see what actually happens on the pattern plate if you don't mount a custom fit gun correctly. Just for curiosity, we're just going to do the last three again from 10 yards. So again, it's just reinforcing the importance of your gun mount and keeping your cheek glued down on the stock. You know, what we're looking for here is you're progressing as a game shot, you know, with a view that you're going to get a chance to shoot driven game at the end of the season. So with that in mind, what we're looking for is for the gun to shoot exactly where you look and where you point it. And then that's going to enable you to have, you know, cleaner kills for when you're shooting live quarry. But on the other token, when you're shooting at clays, if you're absolutely dusting the clays, you know that first of all, your gun fits you, and secondly, most importantly, you're mounting the gun correctly and keeping your cheek down on the stock. Okay? Anyway, come and have another go, and just put into practice what you've just learned, and see what happens. Let's go. Keep cheek glued down on that stock, please. Okay, do the same again. Okay. Well, that was fairly conclusive. So that one, you shot the pattern went exactly where you were looking and where you pointed it. Okay, let's try his friend top left. Centralize the eye and keep that cheek glued down on the stock. Great. Okay. Happy?
Yeah.
You know, you've had the gun built for you. We've worked on measurements. As you progress, as your shooting evolves and you become more adept at mounting the gun deliberately and smoothly, we might make minor adjustments with the stock dimensions, but you can see here, with the stock dimensions as they are, if you mount the gun smoothly and deliberately, centralize your eye down the rib and keep your cheek glued down the stock when you pull the trigger, and just, you know, embrace the recoil rather than fearing the recoil. You can see there, I mean, you've just shot at 3 different angled marks and you've centered every single one of them. So that gun's been shot exactly where you look and where you point it. And this is at 10 yards. So obviously the further back we go, you get the same result, but obviously the pattern of shot widens the further back you go. So it would be obviously a more even spread, but at close range, in many ways it gives you a better idea of exactly where the gun's shooting to point of aim, or not, as the case may be. Okay? All right, let's leave it at that, and let's go and shoot at something moving.
Okay.
Well done.